Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Golf After Hours. I am your host, Mike Ratchman. You're coming to you live from the Texas Golf Insider Network, sponsored by Centex Golfers Guide, LLC. Hey, David Roberts is going to be with us here right after the break. And we've got a good show for you tonight. We got Steve Habel. He's an international golf writer. He also writes for the Texas Golf Insider. Him and I were on a little trip to Chambers Creek here out in Willis, Texas. Going to have talk a little bit about our experience out there. It's a 9-hole golf course that was built by Tom Lehman, and let me tell you, it's pretty outstanding. It's a subdivision that has a golf course. It's a community that has a golf course. You'll know all about it if you stick around, because Fred Caldwell, he's the CEO of Caldwell Companies in Chambers Creek. He's going to be with us to kind of go through the design of Chambers Creek community, and they're not calling it a golf course community, which is kind of cool in itself. But there's a whole lot of more amenities if you're thinking about it's 55 and up. So if you're thinking about moving into one of those communities, I had a chance to experience it, and it was really a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to talking to Fred. And of course, we got Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach is AT&T is playing this weekend, and I'm watching some of the clowns out there. Bill Murray's still out there, and those are always fun to watch them playing golf out there in the Pro-Am. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then Davey Gravy's back in town from the PGA show. We'll catch up with him on that. Hey, listen, you know the old routine, Golf After Hours, go grab yourself a cold one. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, everybody, to Golf After Hours. I'm your host, Mike Ratchman. Dave Roberts is finally back in town. I don't know how long he's going to be here, but I know he's going to be here for at least a couple of weeks. Davey Gravy, welcome back to the show, man.
Hey, can you hear me? I've got a special high-tech earbud, old military problem. I had to put my hearing aids in. But yes, I'm back from the PGA show, 14 miles of walking up and down the aisles. And then in the coming weeks on our show, we'll have some of guests on here that were at the PGA show showing their wares off. And we will preview another one, Mike. We're also going to have a friend of yours' son who is in the same business. We're going to go look at down the road of having Trent Jones on our show.
Oh, nice. Played golf with his son before. Never played with Trent, but Trent Jr. I did play with.
Right.
Quite an interesting guy. I know Lee Trevino's got a new set of apparel out, and looks like we're going to have a guest with Lee. That would be kind of interesting to do. So thanks for doing all the work out there, buddy.
Well, yeah, my patas are a little tired, but thank God to these soles that I have in the shoes that I've recovered. And of course, my handy TINS unit right there. There
Nice.
you go. I needed that. It's a wireless one I picked up at the PGA show, put it on my back. But no, had a good time. And I'm glad to be back home. After 7 days of Florida. Was okay. We had weather changes, kind of like San Antonio, but not as bad as y'all had. And then on the way back, Ratch, I thought I was gone. I was ready to call it. We were flying from New Orleans over to Houston through that part. There was all that turbulent storms.
Oh, yeah, they had some big storms.
Our plane was kind of going a little sideways, and it was shaking. And, of course, I had too much to partake in, so my bladder was ready to go, and we're hitting all these bumps, and they're like, please stay in your seat. Please.
There was no crying.
There
was no crying on the airplane, was there?
Yeah, there's a little screaming and all this other stuff, but it was kind of cool. But I thought we were good, man. I was glad Sully was up there. He could land it in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, hey, listen, I want to recap some of the pool leaders. that we had this last week for our one and done. Hey, folks, if you're still not in it, you can go to one and done. You can go to Texas Gulf Insider and still sign up. Dave, you and I are at the very bottom of the pool right now, 59 and 60. I can't make a cut. It's just one of those deals that I just can't pull off anything right now for the last couple weeks.
Well, I've made the cut. It's just the two out of the three fellas that I had made the cut who are up near the lead, after day one have started shooting over par. So this week I've come in with another. I'm going to change my thing because here's what I've been doing, Ratch. This is kind of funny. I pick who I think is going to win, and then I pick an alternate, right?
Yeah.
So I put it in there, and my alternates are doing fine. So I picked the winner, I picked the alternate, and then I reversed it when I put it in. So hopefully.
Now that's pretty funny. I know I've done that a couple times too. If there's anything that really chap your butt, that is it when you go, dang it. He was right on. Well, anyways, we got Johnny G is like in third place here. Holy cow. He's got
that
1.9
Texas
million.
A&M, Texas Tech dual thing going on there. That's too much college going in on a. I think we might have one of those MIT scandals going on over there in college.
I'm gonna keep it to a very educated guess is what he's doing. That's just me.
Have you ever seen Moneyball? I guarantee you he's got his stats, because if you've seen Johnny's house, he has it like it looks like NASA with all the screens up, and I guarantee you he's got all the stats like Moneyball, and he's just pulling it out of the hat, rocking it and rolling it, and then he waits till the very end, and then he puts in his pick, and it's like money.
And something? I bet you he finds out there's a pick when he listens to us every Wednesday night. He's probably on his phone right now.
He is probably on his phone because you know what? The last 3 weeks, everybody that I've kind of gave my dark horse as, like I did Sam Burns and all that, they're the ones doing it. And that's not the guys I'm picking. I'm just trying to help you guys out because like last year, I started slow and then I moved all the way up the leaderboard. And so, I'm kind of giving head starts here is what I'm doing.
Yeah, hey, folks, it's never over. Go to TexasGolfInsider.com and you can still join up. Johnny G's in third. Adam Grosh is in fourth. Kurt Lohan is in second place and right hand strong. I don't have his name, but he's at the leaderboard at 1.9 million in the bank right now. But big weekend coming up here. Huge weekend come up. Hey, before we get to the Pebble Beach thing, who's your pick and who's your dark horse?
Jordan Spieth, I think, will be doing good at this tournament. He won it before. There's up and coming Max Homa, another one, stuff like that. We're looking at them, but I'm thinking, and this is a dark horse, and you're going to say I'm crazy, but I'm thinking that a dark horse would be Colin Morikawa. He's just been hanging there. I think this might be the time that he busts loose because this is an elevated tournament. There's a little bit more money in it, and this is where whether you or myself
to the winner,
we can go from being in 59 and 60th all the way up into the top 10 with just having our guy win. So
yeah,
I picked someone who has won it before, and we'll just leave it at that because I don't want everybody to lose if I tell the name. So.
I think Scheffler's got a good shot at it. And my dark horse is Cantley. I think Cantley's he's been playing some good golf.
That was my pick last week. Did you see what he did for me? Okay, so okay. You called it out, so I'm going to tell you my pick. Okay.
Okay.
Victor Hovland.
That's a good pick.
That's my pick for the week. I think
you're not the only one that's going to pick it. But I don't listen to me, folks. I'm number 60.
I'm 59.
I gotta get out of the hole this week and at least get someone in there to put some more money in the bank.
When you got 30 seconds, can we bring our producer Johnny G on and see what his pick is for the week? Since this
sure, we'll catch him here at the end of the show.
Look at this.
We'll get him here at the end of the show.
Man, look at the monitor. He is not going to give up his pick.
I don't blame him, man. I don't blame him. He's in third place. Why would he help you out?
Oh my God, what happened to the brotherly love?
Hey, you want to just listen to the
What happened to the
backside,
Jameson, man? Come on.
not getting it from him. Hey, so the AT&T Championship, that a big one for you?
Yes, that's a big one.
Yeah,
It's going to be cool. It's a new format because it is elevated, so there's going to be a limited field, less amateurs in the field, and then
and no cuts, no cuts.
they've got a different thing where the amateurs used to play all, because it used to be 5 rounds. So they're not going to play the entire rounds, but I like them ending up at Pebble Beach again. I think that's such a beautiful golf course. Never played it, but I got to drive around it, so that's really cool. Um, and at this time of the season, it wasn't an elevated, um, you know, event, and so not a whole lot of stars played in it because they didn't like the format with the amateurs in 5 days, and you
Yeah,
know, but that you got to look at Bill Murray and all them guys, man. They made it so famous, and Ray Romano and George Lopez and all the guys, Lemon before them.
yeah.
It is what it is. It was the big clam bake, but now I think that with it being an elevated, only the no cut that. Uh,
Moolah.
you've got a strong field. This is one of the strongest
And that's
fields.
what pro-ams are for, right? The pro-ams are what it should be. But when you're putting it to the winner making, 3.6, hey, get out of my way. I don't think you are funny.
Yeah, but those aren't the normal pro-am guys. Those are like major players that pay 25, $30,000 just to play a couple of rounds. And most of these guys, as you look, besides the Aaron Rodgers of the world who play in it, a lot of them are CEOs of the companies that
Sure.
are their sponsors. So they fly in for the clam bake. Um, but I like it getting a little bit more serious than it normally is. And hopefully this year, um, the three-letter network called CBS will put more emphasis on the golfers instead of the Bill Murrays of the world and the George
Yeah.
Lopez. That's fine and dandy. Let's do that on Saturday morning. But when I'm checking this out, like I watched golf this last weekend, man, because that was the Pavon guy. That was just totally awesome. Coming back and winning that. You know, I want to see golf.
Well,
I don't.
it,
If I want to see a hacker play, I'll go out to one of my military bases and watch a hacker play. I want to see the professionals play. That's what I'm stopping my day for.
well, I think you're going to get it. I mean, it's some serious stuff coming on up. Hey, listen, we got three more players, that jumped to the Live Tour, Dave.
Good.
I can't believe Terrell Hatton. He's joining John Rahm
I
in
can.
his group. Got
I can.
63 mil. And then you got Adrian Murdoch
Who?
and Lucas Hubert. Both of
Who?
them won. Both of them won. Hey, Hubert is quite the player. Um, especially the European guy. He's
Right.
coming
And a
off.
lot of the European, yeah. And if you notice, they're going towards more of the European players. Tyrell Hatton is a European player. Uh, they're fetching off the DP tour. And that's great. That's fantastic because everybody heard the report of what's going on, and I know you were probably going to bring that up about the new billionaires, with the guy with Fenway Park and everybody now getting in to be part of the PGA, and that the
Yeah,
PIP was going to be part of it. But Jordan Spieth just came out 2 hours ago and held a news conference and said that with the money that's coming from the billions from the guys from Fenway Park and all the other places, that they don't need the PIF to meet their goals. And I like Jordan Spieth, so I'm going to go with what he said.
I can live with that. Here's a good one for you. We got about 30 seconds. You think that XLV LIV players should get sanctioned and fined if they want to come back to the PGA?
They've got to pay some type of penalty because they accepted money to go and break the so-called our rules and constitution to go to another league, right? They got paid. They got paid pretty handsomely too. So there should be some types of a sanctioned, like majors. If you're not a major winner, you got to go back to the qualifying to earn it. Like
Yeah.
state, U.S. Open, things like that. You just can't walk back in because then that defeats the integrity and the purpose of all of our guys staying here. So there has to be something put in place saying, hey, you're penalized this, this, and this. You might have to miss the FedEx Cup for 2 years. Kind of like what they do college sanctions, something to that effect, or you're only regulated to 20 tournaments the first 2 years. Until you gain your full membership back on the PGA Tour if you qualify within those 20 events. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, folks, listen, I'd like to hear your comments on that. Do you think of PGA or XLIV players should be sanctioned and fined? I don't think Rory McIlroy thinks they should do that, which is one of your favorite guys.
Yeah, but Rory got a lot of money.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
does.
it up, so we're unless you pay all that money back.
I don't know how they're going to work this all up. There's going to be a lot of upset people no matter how it works out. Hey, David, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to catch up with Steve Habel, international golf writer, and he also writes quite a bit for the Texas Golf Insider. Don't go away. Golf After Hours. Grab yourself a gold one. We'll be right back.
Just minutes north of San Antonio on Highway 281, you will find Valor Creek Golf Club in Blanco, Texas. Valor Creek is now offering stay-and-play packages starting at $150 per person per night. Relax in the beautifully furnished Tuscany Heights condominium and walk out your front door and play one of the Hill Country's premier semi-private golf courses. So break away from the city and make Valor Creek the perfect getaway for a peaceful weekend or family outing. Call us now at 830-833-0706 or go to www.vcgc.golf. That's vcgc.golf.
Landa Park Golf Course offers an exceptional golf experience to players of every level. This newly redesigned 18-hole public course, nestled along the Comel River, combines a challenging layout with spectacular Texas Hill Country views. Located in the heart of historic New Braunfels, Landa Park Golf Course is convenient to players from Dallas to San Antonio and everywhere in between. Escape the routine. Call the Pro Shop to book your tee time today or visit us online at landaparkgolfcourse.com.
Are you ready to treat you and your friends to a great golfing experience? If so, it's time to tee it up at the Club at Star Ranch. Located in Hutto, just 30 minutes from Austin, the Club at Star Ranch offers manicured fairways, pure putting greens, and multiple tee options for all skill levels to enjoy. Home of the 4-hour round, the Club at Star Ranch is rated 4.6 stars and strives for course consistency so you and your friends can enjoy that golf experience you deserve. The Club at Star Ranch, where your next round awaits.
Step into this clubhouse and you're stepping into history. Walk this fairway and imagine you're in the gallery of one of the first PGA Tour events, or cross this bridge and know that Nelson, Hogan, Palmer, and Crenshaw each crossed it first. Because this is Brackenridge Park, the oldest 18-hole public golf course in Texas, site of the first Texas Open and home to the Texas Golf Hall of Fame. Set your tee time today and step into history at Brackenridge Park.
Welcome back, everybody, to Golf After Hours. I'm your host, Mike Rashford. We get to chatting on the backside, and we need to be getting in front of the camera. And who's going to join us here is Steve Hable. Stevie Hable is an international golf writer. He's also writes for the Texas Golf Insider. And him and I took a little road trip. We don't do it as much as we should, but we went out to Chambers Creek out in Willis, Texas, and really had a, we always accomplish something, Steve, when we get in the car. We go to every golf course that we can think of to talk about. And on the way back, we go to every golf course that, why are they not advertising with us? Right. And why can't we write something for them? Hey, man, before we get to that, I know you've played courses all over the world. Have you played Pebble Beach?
I have not played Pebble Beach. I have played Poppy Hills, which is in a part of the Pebble Beach family there. One of the hardest golf courses I've ever played, and it was like 30 degrees. And man, I barely made it alive out of that place. But no, I have not played Pebble Beach. Most of my riding, Mike, as you well know, is for courses that need, discussion about them or some kind of publicity about them. Pebble Beach doesn't need any publicity, dude. I don't know how good I'd play there. And Dave, you might harp in on this too, but I'm not sure if I want to attack those greens that are the size of my island in the kitchen here.
Well,
pretty tough.
I would play it, but it's probably going to be with a camera because it's so picturesque. I've driven the Monterey Peninsula and saw, Spyglass Hill, Spanish Bay, all the rest of them, and I would spend more time. Okay, it's my time to hit a shot, and then I would go and probably take pictures, especially when I get around 16 and 17 and 18. I become a tourist instead of a golf pro. So, hey, Pebble Beach is one of the holy grails of golf besides Augusta. So, yeah, I would be definitely that guy with a camera around my neck. You could call me a tourist, and I would enjoy it.
Well, yeah, it's fun even watching it on TV. I'm going to watch it here tomorrow. Of course, Mike Rachman, number 60. On our one and done. Steve Hable, I believe, is like in the 30s, 34 maybe. Dave is 59 right in front of me. I don't know who you have picked for this week, Steve.
I'll tell you who I picked. I went off the charts. I picked Kurt Kitayama, somewhere out of nowhere. It seems like somebody out of nowhere plays well in that tournament every year, so that's who I picked.
He wants the $3 million all to himself.
I want it all to myself. I mean, we almost had it all last week. I picked someone off the charts, Ludwig Agberg, and it's like he finished 9th, and nobody wanted to win that thing. So,
when you pick him, you get the 3.6. You are in first place right away. I mean, these is go right. You go from the bottom to the top. Right. I need a little bit of help.
Right.
Hey, listen, question of the day, where Dave and I went through it before. Should PGA Tour players be sanctioned? If they're ex Live Tour players, should they be sanctioned? Should there be some penalties involved in there? What's your take on that? You hear a lot about it. You're way out there more than I am.
NO spells no for sanctions for Live players. I mean, I think what we need to have, and we're having a lot in the horse racing business too, which I covered, is let's have some unity about this, man. I mean, everybody's chasing golf unity, and golf is a niche sport. I mean, it is not necessarily for us guys who play the sport, but for TV and stuff like that. I mean, you almost have to work hard to find golf. I mean, not like it used to be in a spot where every Saturday and Sunday. And you think about how the NFL is basically monopolizing everything on TV now. I mean, there were 56 million people watching the games last week. I mean, everybody else is in the single-digit millions if they're lucky. And so it's let's bring those guys back together. Let's have the best golf we have. Let's get together. Can't we all get along?
So you're okay with someone breaking their promise and stuff on a tour that made them what they are, to accept millions of dollars just to open them arms without anything to hold them back? You got to be slapped. I mean, you're probably one of the kids that never made it to the principal's office when you were in high school.
Dude, I got swats at the principal's office when I was in high school. But the answer to that is
We all been
YES.
there.
I mean, if we're looking for the betterment of golf as a whole, I mean, is it really that big of a deal to you want to get players upset and at the PGA Tour? I think it's great that Rory came out yesterday or the day before and said, "Hey, let's let these guys back in the thing. Let's get the best golf we can, and let's
See, now
you know."
you and Rory are on the same page. Rory doesn't think that they should be sanctioned. There should be no penalties. Rory actually came out and said, sometimes people make choices and maybe they're not so good.
Right. And it's
And
easy for Rory to say that when he's making millions of dollars. So let's ask Maverick McNeely the same question.
Let's ask Graham McDowell, who hasn't made $1 on the PGA Tour in 5 years, but he's making money on Live Tour. I mean, Graham McDowell, do you think that he still can play the game? I think he can still play
Yeah,
the
on the
game.
senior tour where they play from the white tees, but right now he can't.
I want to
He's
play
like,
from the senior tour. I'm 62 years old now. I can play from the senior tour. Can I
but
play?
it's
right,
a
but
nice
the thing is,
conversation.
you're okay. So this is going to get out of hand like the NIL is in college.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
so
out
these
of hand
guys
and
can go and
crazy.
they accept all this money, and then without any penalty, you can come on back and get your membership back. You tell me what other organization did you know of? You can break your contract and all that stuff with them because they do sign a contract. Go somewhere else. Oh, I don't like it, or I got cut. Let me come back without any things.
Okay, so
Well,
we got two people thinking different. I mean, there's a lot of people that split down the middle. It's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. And golf is going to be hurting here in a couple of weeks, anyways. When NFL Super Bowl is on, it's going to cram Saturday and Sunday. And if Taylor Swift shows up, it's going to be 150 million people zooming in.
Hey, let's think about this. The scuttlebutt is that Travis Kelce's going to propose to Taylor Swift if he wins the Super Bowl on the field. The internet is going to melt if that happens, guys. You realize that, don't you?
Yeah. And there will be anybody who spent any money on any other network is going to go in the toilet. Hey, listen, we got to get to what
All right, let's talk about Chambers Creek.
Chambers Creek.
Hey, listen, what was your take, man? We came in. It was quite a long drive for us because they kind of gear maybe toward a second home, or if you're up that corridor between Dallas and Houston,
Right.
that's probably right in the middle. But you and I ended up taking a drive over there, got a lot accomplished. But what was your take? When someone invites me over for a 9-hole, I go, oh, do I really want to drive that far for 9 holes, right?
Well, we got
Right.
to play more than 9 holes. We played it twice, which would be recommended because you could, I think did we play it from separate tees? I know I did, or maybe you did.
I did.
don't remember.
I
But I think I played it
150 marker.
yeah, anywhere from the kids' tees. Yeah, it's 99 yards and in. They
That's
actually
me.
they have a nice little artificial turf spot for kids there to hit from 99
Yeah,
in.
so you can do the par threes out there, which I think
Hey,
is very
before
cool.
you get into that about the 9 holes, can I say this right quick, guys? Folks, 9 holes is perfect for today's society because it's
There's
the
no
same
doubt.
amount of time that is going out to eat with your friends, going to a movie, going to the bowling alley. 9 holes, perfect for our lifestyle right now with the ever-changing demographics.
I got no
But
problem with 9 holes as long as we can play it like 3 times. I'm a guy. I like the 9
You're the
holes.
guy who wears out the gym membership, right?
Yeah, I am. I mean, you know me. I'll go on these tours and I'll play, 2 18-hole golf courses in a day for 5 or 6 days. So, yeah, 9 holes is fun. But Chambers Creek, even though it's a little 9-hole course, it's not a little 9-hole course.
right.
It was very, very challenging in most ways that you could be. I mean, there wasn't a lot of forced carries out there, as we remember, Mike. There's a couple as far as water hazards that we had, but only one of the par fours was a forced carry if you made it into a forced carry, if you tried to drive it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It had a lot of subtle nuances to it that made it play a lot more difficult than it looked when we first looked at it. We drove around for about a half hour beforehand and looked at all the holes, and you were talking about how beautiful it was, and I was talking about, well, I'm hitting a 7-iron into this hole. so
Yeah.
I'm thinking about strategy, how I'm going to attack the hole. But it was
Squirrel.
go ahead, Dave. I was hitting 7 irons from 125, not like you, like 165 like you do. So, but yeah, we had like I said, surprisingly challenging, and I could see that being a course that you play every day, especially if you played from different tee boxes, if they crank
Sure.
down the like they could. The day we played it, the greens were very, very challenging because they're new.
Oh, they were fast.
And they were, I mean, there was a time where there's a drivable par four, maybe 290 or so, and I hit it pin high, and I hit a wedge on the fringe that ended up 30 feet past the hole. You remember that, Mike? It was like the second or third hole. And it's like, how the hell did that happen? But
You know what I liked about it, Steve? You know, you're right. It's in a 55 plus community,
right.
which is perfect, man. But you can still pick your poison there. You know, they got 4 tee boxes there, and you never did play from the tips all the way back.
No.
You play from the tips all the way back, and it's all you can handle. The beauty of the whole course is that it really is wide open. I mean, it's really a wide open, so it's not like one of these courses you're going to lose a dozen golf balls.
Right. It was hard to miss a fairway there, but I think I did miss a few. But good spot for recovery. It's a second shot golf course. There's no doubt about it. You know, you had to hit good approaches to spots in the tees. You know, the tees were fair even from the second set where I was playing. Like I say, I'm aged now, so you know, playing
more than you.
Playing a course that was that if I would have played it twice, would have probably played about 6,800 yards from the tees I was playing from. So that's where I'm pretty still comfortable at. But the greens were subtle the way they had them set up for us. You would almost think that they were setting it up for a big tournament. But and the gentleman who played with us, the representative of the course, made sure that he told us about that before we went out there.
Yeah. It was kind of nice to have that. And, you know, I'll tell you what, Steve, everybody we talked to was so nice out there. And, you know, they love the course. I mean, they pull over and, you know, if you got a shot to come over and say, hey, man, how you doing? They stop their shot, come on over and chat with you. But it is a community that's really building well, you know, and, you know, the entrance to it all, it's just really a beautiful layout. And it's got some really scenic holes. I really enjoyed some of the par threes that they have here. If you think you can bring these par threes to your knee, they look like you can until you get on the putting surface.
Hey, Steve, one of our viewers just chimed in because he's enthralled in this. AJ Shankoponymous just asked.
Shankoponymous, I don't know.
Yeah, he's on our one and done list, AJ Shankoponymous. He wanted to know, is there enough room to turn it from 9 holes to 18, kind of like Valor Creek did several years ago?
There is. I think that they have plenty of room out there, and they've talked about that.
Right.
It's gonna be maybe 10 or 12 years away. They're gonna have to sell a lot more housing out there before they do that. But there's plenty of room. I think there's something. Tell me the acreage, Mike. I mean, you probably have that on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, no, I don't know what the total acreage is, but when I was driving around with Herb Lipsman, he was telling me, he showed us the land where it was. He says, if it were to come where we had so many homes out here to support 18 holes, but right now they don't have that, but there is room. There is room to expand. Hey, Stevie, we are up against the clock, man. I know you got other work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I know. Thanks. I know you got the Spurs going on and I don't know how many TVs you've got in the house, but you got to write and look about all of them. I know you're a busy guy, man, so I appreciate you taking some time out. And I really enjoyed our trip out there and back.
I always enjoy the time with you, Mike. It's a lot of fun, except for all the mess you made in my truck on the way back with your Subway sandwich all over the place. It was crazy.
Hey, and I want to
I believe he sent me the bill for that too. I'm not
Steve,
sure.
thanks for the update and the upcoming news for Travis Swift. I think that's going to be kind of cool if that happens. So
it probably will.
You know, I think you kind of look like the love child of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Why thank you, but I don't have the facial hair as a Kelce. I'm an original. I'm a one and done, buddy. That's all I am. I don't know. I think
is it called the Gummy Bear Pro? Is that what it is?
Yes, the Gummy Bear Golf Pro.
I think it is. I think it is.
I follow you. I understand what you're doing. Hey, you guys have a nice night.
Yeah, Stevie, thanks a lot again, man. I appreciate it. We'll catch up with you soon.
Bye.
Folks, listen, we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to the man who exactly put this together, Mr. Fred Caldwell. He's going to join us. I got a lot more questions about his community. Don't go away. Grab yourself a cold one. Golf After Hours. We'll be right back.
At Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the new Callaway AI Smoke Driver. The new AI design club has multiple sweet spots across the face, making it an average of 7 yards longer. Visit us at your local Edwin Watts Golf Shops or shop online at worldwidegolf.com. Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Step into this clubhouse and you're stepping into history. Walk this fairway and imagine you're in the gallery of one of the first PGA Tour events, or cross this bridge and know that Nelson, Hogan, Palmer, and Crenshaw each crossed it first. Because this is Brackenridge Park, the oldest 18-hole public golf course in Texas, site of the first Texas Open and home to the Texas Golf Hall of Fame. Set your tee time today and step into history at Brackenridge Park.
Just minutes north of San Antonio on Highway 281, you will find Valor Creek Golf Club in Blanco, Texas. Valor Creek is now offering stay-and-play packages starting at $150 per person per night. Relax in the beautifully furnished Tuscany Heights condominium and walk out your front door and play one of the Hill Country's premier semi-private golf courses. So break away from the city and make Valor Creek the perfect getaway for a peaceful weekend or family outing. Call us now at 830-833-0706 or go to www.vcgc.golf. That's vcgc.golf.
Old friend, our hearts know you. You welcome us with open arms. Your stories are our favorites to retell. And you love surprising us with new ones. Our family treasures these moments with you and your sugar white sand.
Mike Bratchman. Hey, we're going to get right to you, Frank. You a guitar player too?
I like to hack around on it, but I see you got something behind you there. I see in the background.
Well, yeah, I got a little band called OMB.
No way.
Old Man Band. We got about
band.
Yeah, about 5 players that we have with us, and we really have a ball doing it. You're the first guy who ever noticed that was back there. But you can also
hack. I love.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same thing. The more you drink, the better we sound, kind of band.
I'll sound great after a few beers. Yeah,
we need to. That's right. We need to come up. Hey, folks,
the fingers just go right to the right. I mean, it's just all perfect.
Well, and you do sound great, right? You put 3 or 4 beers in you, and you go, "Wow, I really hit the note on that one." Yeah. Hey, folks, we just kind of slid in to this segment here. We got Fred Caldwell, who's the CEO of Caldwell Properties over in Houston. I believe you have them all over the state of Texas, if I'm right. But Houston is a big market for you. And Fred, I appreciate you taking time to come on the show and talk a little bit about that new community that we had to visit. Dave Roberts is our co-host here. I don't think he's ever met you. And I told him, I said, you were going to be on the show tonight. But before we get to the show, I know you play golf, and a lot of it. And I heard you played Pebble Beach.
I played Pebble Beach. I hate to tell you how many times, but many, many times. My dear football coach I grew up with, and is one of my dearest friends, R.C. Slocum.
Really?
Started having me out there joining what's called the Coaches Classic out there 20 years ago. And I played in it, I think, all but 1 year with RC and some of our other former teammates, and it's just been a great time. And I love Pebble. And of course, they're having terrible weather right now for the tournament, I see. So
Yeah, it doesn't look good out there at all. But I wanted to, I got a little deal on you that said that played Pebble Beach, and it was perfect time to talk to you about it. Before we get to what you're doing out at Chambers, is there one hole you pick out, if you've been there several times, is there one hole you pick out and go, I'm going to get you next year or maybe the year after that? Is there one hole that just kind of pops out?
I'll say this, there's
17.
Say it again.
17.
Yeah, 17 can get you, but 7 is so iconic, and everybody talks about 7, and it is, I think, one of the most beautiful golf holes in the world by far. And you just can't, we build things, but we can't build what God's created in that Pacific Ocean around that property. And 7 is just iconic, such that I copied a little of Jim Nantz's playbook. We built a replica of number 7 out at our farm in Brenham, Texas. So I have a number 7 replica that I get to practice on, when I'm out in Brenham. And it's I love 7, but I love all those golf holes. I think 8 is the best second shot in all of golf over the ravine that Jordan Spieth almost fell down. 8 is phenomenal. I could go through that whole golf course.
Well, and that's the beauty when you turn on the show tomorrow and turn on the golf course. You go through every one of those holes. It's just very cool when you played it and you get to watch it in a big event. Hey, listen, let's get to Chambers Creek. The saying is out there is that you guys have built a place like no other. And, I heard that when I first went out there, and I get it after you play it. And, what is the difference, that you see in this community compared to some of the communities that you put up?
Yeah, thanks, Mike, for asking that question. I would say, number one, it starts with the land. It always starts with the land and what we do. And you start with the template that, again, I think our good Lord gives us. And in that case of that land, that's the best land we've ever developed by far. I mean, it's just the most beautiful land. And such that when we were coming up with a vision for Chambers Creek, it seemed to me I'm almost a, golf addict to a certain degree. I love golf and playing lots of places, but it sure looked like a golf track to me. And we knew we were going to do something for the 55 plus segment. And of course, golf is very popular in that segment. So I had a friend that knew Tom Lehman, called Tom, left him a note, said, hey, I don't know if you'd be interested, but we've got a tract in Texas I'd love to talk to you about. He called the next day. And I told Tom at the time, I said, Tom, I don't know. I've never done a golf course from ground up. We've bought golf before. We've never done it from ground up. I said, but I think this might be pretty good. Why don't you come look at it if you're interested, and you tell me. He flew into town, looked at it like the next week or something, and then went back. I called him. I said, or he called me maybe. Anyway, and what do you think? And I remember Tom's words were, that might be one of the best tracks I've ever seen for golf. So when you say what's different, I'd say what's different is the look and feel of Chambers Creek when you drive in, just in terms of what that property feels like, the community, and then quite frankly, the look and feel of the golf course as a golfer is really good. I mean, just because Tom did a great job, we worked hand in hand, and he just laid that golf course into that land. So it's just a fun experience as you saw.
Fred, I was looking online once he was talking about the facility and stuff, and I noticed that you're 5 stars out of Google reviews, so you're totally perfect. So I had to go dig deeper on what was going on here, but I come to find out it's called a multifunctional golf course. What is that?
Well, I think that must be our marketing department, but
I can assure you.
Yeah. No, we wanted to create something, and we named it after Tom. We call it Lehman Park. And so we don't want it to be simply all about golf. I think golf is the greatest game ever invented. And if you think about how golf is, after you've been to, you go to Europe and play golf there in Scotland. I've played in Scotland, and you look at how that works within the sense of community. And, they've got those long winters, and it's cold, and they drink a lot of scotch, and they're ready to get out. And what do? You dig a hole in the ground and say how to roll a ball in the hole. I mean, that's how it started. And so we wanted to capture some of that, like let's make this more of a game and not an exclusive sport. And so I didn't want it to be exclusionary. I wanted to be inclusive in terms of the community. So the reality is in Chambers Creek, if you pay your HOA dues, you have a right to play golf. And then we govern that with how much golf you can pay to play more golf, but not different than Scotland or some of the other places where if you pay your property taxes, you have a right to play that game. And so that's what we want in Chambers Creek. So it starts with this notion that golf's available to everyone. And then secondly, we wanted the golf course to function for more than just playing that one game, that it'd be a place that you could go walk with your grandkids and, take your grandkid fishing and it'd be a place that you and your wife could walk down the fairways in off hours. And so we haven't designated all the hours for golf. We have hours that are designated for other purposes and uses. So we really want it to be a park that builds community. It just happens to have a really good golf course.
That's what I heard when I got there. I got a nice packet from the ladies at the front office. Do a real nice job. Ate some great cookies that they were serving us when we got there. Great cup of coffee. And the first thing that got me is she said, "Mike, a beautiful community, and it's got a golf course." And I was like, "Well, hold it. Ain't that supposed to come first?" And that's the reason we were up there. It's supposed to come first. And I get it. I get it after you've been there. You see all the amenities that go along with it. But to say that you have a golf course, or you have a community golf course, a Tom Lake golf course. And by the way, if you think you can handle every one of those holes you're playing from the tip, you got to have your act together playing that. Even though it's wide open, you're not going to lose a ton of golf balls there.
No.
That's the beauty. But if you think you can score real low from the tips, a little bit of wind thrown in there. Tom Lehman had built a challenge, and he also made it fun. If you play your tee box, play what you should be playing, no matter how old you are. I think he set it up really nice. And what I was more impressed about, if you want to go out and do a par 3 tournament, they showed us all the different areas that each one of the holes are set up.
Right.
To play as a par 3 too. So it really put the fun factor. I mean, a lot of fun factor into a golf course. As you know, you can go to a golf course and you can get your butt kicked pretty quick.
Yeah. We wanted, and Tom and I, we were talking through the whole strategy. One of us, I'm a big Alistair McKenzie guy. I love Alistair McKenzie. I've read a bunch of books by Alistair McKenzie. And you mentioned something. Alistair McKenzie hated high rough. He thought it was bad for the game of golf to be hunting around for your golf ball. He thought it would be better, don't have a bunch of rough, just make the holes intriguing and more of a puzzle to be solved by the flight of your ball and the roll of the ball and how the greens are situated. So that's really what we worked hard on, was to create a bit of a puzzle on how you solve the golf course. And there can be a lot of different solutions to each hole. And to that point, we have as many as 6 tees on these golf holes, so that you can play them from different angles and different distances. And some of them play as a par 5, some will play as a par 4. They all play, to your point, Mike, as a par 3. And so, you want to have a par 3 tournament. You want to go out there. I mean, we got so many, our lifestyle people do such a great job coming up with games and fun things. But to your point, if you're a good golfer and you play that thing back, there's some golf holes. If you can reach them as a par 4 and 2, you can really hit that ball. Because I'm telling you, 7 into the wind is just brutal. I told Tom, I said, "Tom, I don't think there's an amateur in Houston that can get to this green too from the tips." I mean, it's not like a little executive course. And one of our goals was to really create 9 of the very best golf holes, not only in Houston, but in the state. We wanted to create great golf that was also, and you said it, fun. I mean, and that's what Tom has always said. This is going to be a fun golf course. It's super fun, but it's also super challenging.
See, and I think you hit the head with both. I've been looking at a lot of stuff, and I like your hashtag, Chambers Creek Life. So that just tells it all. But I think y'all are going in the right direction. I've played many tour events with Tom back in the days, so now I'm dating myself. How old I am, his age. The thing that we need to realize as golf course operators is we need to put that fun factor back into golf. And with what you're explaining here is you have that challenge, but you're going out there to enjoy, to get away from the everyday yucks of life, and you want to go out and just lose yourself in your game, get in that fishbowl, play golf with your friends, and have a cool time. And I think that some of our newest designers have forgot that because they're worried about making that world-class facility with 108 bunkers and that one hole that will destroy you. And you're like, why did I pay to play this golf course?
Right. Well, you mentioned bunkers, and again, I go back to McKenzie. McKenzie didn't like a lot of artificial bunkers unless you needed them. And, he was a camouflage expert in the Army. So his bunkers are all visible from the tee box. And when you look back from the green, none of them are visible. I mean, he wanted to kind of have the bunkers go away and be noticeable. So I always ask people after they play Chambers Creek how many bunkers were there. I won't give you the number, but it's a very small number. And we wanted really more the lies around the green, the undulations of the ground around the green, the tight lies. And I don't know about you, but for me, I'd much rather hit out of a good bunker than a tight lie.
Yes,
6 yards off a green. I mean, nipping a wedge off a tight lie is a lot harder shot than hitting a little bounce shot out of a sand trap. So, and the pros will all tell you that they'd much rather hit, these nice you see on TV, these nicely raked traps. You give them tight lies off, steep inclines around greens, and they're just as likely to, stub the club in the ground as a 16 trap. So, I think it plays again really fun. And, the other thing we did, we got TifEagle greens. And those greens, our head of golf, Richard, has done a phenomenal job in his crew, and the greens are just phenomenal. So, the golf is really good. And Zoysia fairways, the ball sits up.
Oh, I love that.
Well, and what's kind of unique too, because I had a chance to talk to some of the folks that live up there, and we're playing, man. First of all, nicest people, and they can't say enough good things about the community. Yeah, it's a 55 plus community, but we had great conversations. They would stop in the middle of their game and say, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" Next thing you know, you're having this conversation, and I'm going, and they said nothing but good things. They love the housing out there too. And you know what? We're on a little bit of the housing. I think we should get to that. What is the housing situation like there? What are the price scales and stuff like that?
Sure.
Maybe you can run through a little bit with that, Fred.
Sure, Mike. So one of the things that we've noticed, and we've toured, we've been in the active adult 55 plus business for 20 plus years. And I've looked at them around the country, but one of the things that's been common to most of them is there's a single builder developer, typically a Del Webb, a Pulte, for example, and there's a couple other brands. But it doesn't give the consumer a lot of choice. So what we wanted to do was not have a single builder offering. We actually have 5, and we're about to have 8 builders building from a low point of high 2s, low 3s, which is a fairly in today's world a fairly low price new home. And then we'll go up now with our new custom home offering. They'll be opening very soon. We'll be up into the probably 2 million range. So full range. Wow. Pricing on. So, and again, what we find in 55 plus market is, you're not trying to keep up with anybody, so you don't ask,
you're right.
You don't care. Like, we don't care. You're CEO of this or that, or good for you. Let's go play golf and have fun and, talk about our grandkids. I mean, there's a point in life where you get past that stuff. And I think that's what's so cool about the 55 plus market that, I love it because of that. I mean, you're able to deliver lots of different price points for people that have different, but nobody really gets all cut up in all that in a 55 plus.
That's a pretty good point, because that's kind of the feel I had out there. Nobody was out there pounding their chest. Everybody's they were just happy to be there.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things that they were happy to be there. I think you guys pulled that off, Fred.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for saying that. Yeah, I think it's the people that are out there. It's funny. I met a couple there a few weeks ago. We had called the Texas Eagles band playing. They're out there Friday night. The sun's going down. It was just a great experience. And this new couple had just moved in there. Where'd you move from? Mexico. But they were not Hispanic. They had moved from California to Mexico, and they wanted another stateside residence. And they got online and they found Chambers Creek. They flew in, they toured it, they bought that day, and they decided this is where we wanted. They came from California, they'd gone to Mexico, and they're going to keep their house in Mexico. But then they're buying a stateside home in Chambers Creek. We have people that moved from Florida that been in Florida. They came over here like, we're moving to Chambers Creek. Hawaii. We had a couple come in from Hawaii. Hawaii came to Chambers Creek, said, we're going to buy it. We're going to live in Chambers Creek. They want it. There's a lot of people want to, number one, they want to live in Texas. They like the notion of living in Texas. And then when they get out to this property, I'm telling you, there's something special about that place. It's just a special place.
A sunset with a guitar and a beer in each hand. That's what it is.
Eagles tunes in the background, man. I'm telling you, it's so good. And, you know, our main clubhouse, what we call Summit Center 1, will open here in May, and it's just over the top beautiful. I'm so excited about it. It sits up on top of a ridge. It looks over 30-mile views, which is so unusual here in Houston. 30-mile views, looks over. You know, Tom designed a 20,000+ square foot putting course. That's an 18-hole putting course, as good as there is in the country. And then that clubhouse looks over that, and then it looks over the 9th green and down the 9th fairway to the vineyards that are planted down the 9th hole, and then over Chambers Lake, which is about a 20-acre lake that's kind of the center of the Lehman Park area. So
see, you revealed the secret. The place to settle all your bets after the round is that putting green.
The putting green's pretty good. I'll tell you, you know, it's funny.
It is.
We had an event out there, and you know, Tom's my dear friend. So we said, well, you know, Tom was going to lay out the first 18 holes, and we thought that'd be perfect. We'll lay out here, he'll lay them out, and we thought, man, how long does that take? Maybe an hour, you know. So we had a bunch of our partners come out, and we had beer and wine and all that kind of stuff, and Tom spent 3 hours laying out exactly how that putting green will work for 18 holes. It was so fun. But it's really, I mean, it's a challenge. But what a great time until you go out there and, you know, you can just with your buddies and have a putting contest, or everybody can putt. That was our kind of thing. Everybody can putt.
Well, you took my question right away from me because I was just going to talk about the 18 holes. It doesn't look like there's some challenging putts on that green, and I did get to take a tour of the clubhouse. And you know, when I was talking to a few people, it's not going to be your typical clubhouse. Is what that was. They're going to have little bitty shops and things like that. There's going to be a place where you can buy balls and stuff like that, but it's going to be mostly if you want a shirt or you want pants or anything, you can buy it online at the clubhouse.
Yeah, we don't want to be a traditional pro shop. That's
pretty cool. I like that.
We don't want. You know, hey, you can buy all this stuff on Amazon, man. Amazon's really good at delivering stuff, and you know.
And you're right.
Balls, you know, you have sleeve of balls or you need a golf, you know, that kind of thing. We can get that for you, but you know, we want it to be about lifestyle. And again, the clubhouse is going to be the center of that kind of environment. We'll have a full food and beverage opening. It's got a beautiful cafe that's built into that first clubhouse building, and we'll actually be building a full restaurant on top of that. So, I mean, it's really, really a special place, and that clubhouse is kind of going to be the center. And as you said, there's a community of buildings that will be built over time as we respond to what the community wants and needs. So pretty spectacular. So we're super excited about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Fred, I think you guys pulled it off. It's really a unique place. I enjoyed my stay out there. I can't wait to see your clubhouse. I'm assuming you'll probably have a little gathering up there once that thing gets opened.
We'd like you to come back, and we're opening, right? I mean, we got multiple things opening. We have the clubhouse opening. We have our new pickleball court and
nice
pickleball center, which is really nice. That'll be opening. And then we've got a beautiful New England chapel that we brought in that does from the 1850s that we've restored. And that also is opening. And it's a spectacular. It sits up top of another hill with some phenomenal views. It takes you back in time. And our whole theme at Chambers Creek is around the notion that Vermont meets Texas. And so, which sounds maybe strange, but that's exactly what first time we go.
I just had a Bob Newhart flashback when you said that.
That was the vision. You know, the first time we went out there, it was a cold winter day. And I just remember thinking, this feels like Vermont. And it did. And so architectural styles and stones and all that kind of thing is to really mimic a little bit of Vermont, kind of shows up in Texas, and it harkens back to a different time, really.
Yeah. I'll tell you, folks, if you're thinking about a second home or you're just thinking about 55 plus, you need to put Chambers Creek on your list out in Willis, Texas. It's worth the trip going out there. And I want to thank you, Fred, for having me and Steve Hable out there next time when you got something going on out there. We'll drag Dave out there and maybe we'll bring up the guitar and hit a couple tunes.
Bring your guitar.
I will. Next time I come out, I'll bring the club's guitar and maybe we'll get together and bust open a beer.
I love it. I love to do it. Thank you guys so much for what you're doing for promoting the game of golf, and really we just appreciate all you've done. I'm glad, Mike, you were able to get out and tour Chambers Creek.
Well, I can't wait to come on another time. And I want to thank you for taking time out to do this. I know you're a pretty busy guy, so good luck with Chambers Creek, and we'll catch up with you real soon.
Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Hey, folks, this one take a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap this thing up and let Johnny go home. Don't go away. Golf After Hours. We're coming right back.
Landa Park Golf Course offers an exceptional golf experience to players of every level. This newly redesigned 18-hole public course, nestled along the Comal River, combines a challenging layout with spectacular Texas Hill Country views. Located in the heart of historic New Braunfels, Landa Park Golf Course is convenient to players from Dallas to San Antonio and everywhere in between. Escape the routine. Call the Pro Shop to book your tee time today or visit us online at landaparkgolfcourse.com.
Are you ready to treat you and your friends to a great golfing experience? If so, it's time to tee it up at the Club at Star Ranch. Located in Hutto, just 30 minutes from Austin, the Club at Star Ranch offers manicured fairways, pure putting greens, and multiple tee options for all skill levels to enjoy. Home of the 4-hour round, the Club at Star Ranch is rated 4.6 stars and strives for course consistency so you and your friends can enjoy that golf experience you deserve. The Club at Star Ranch, where your next round awaits.
After Hours. I'm your host, Mike Ratchman. I hope you enjoyed that last interview we had because Dave and I both enjoyed it as well. And folks, listen, if you're 55 and plus, put it up there. You'd really be happy with Chambers Creek. We wouldn't send you out to a place that we wouldn't want to live in ourselves because it's very cool. Hey, Joe, Ellen Joe Henningmeyer.
AJ, just say AJ for short.
AJ, hey buddy, thanks for always chiming in. We got one of our ladies who watches all the time, Janet McCormish. She's like there every week for us. Kobe Golick, who's chimed in as well. And folks, I want to thank everybody each and every week for always chiming in with your comments and sharing it. I know a lot of you folks download it and share it, so it's really great that you do that. And as long as you guys keep doing that. Dave and I'll keep doing this. But I want to thank our guest, Frank Caldwell with Coldwater Properties. And also want to thank Steve Habel for taking time out. Him and I had a blast when we went out to Chambers Creek. So that was really fun for riding with him up there. And Dave, thank you every week for always showing up. Johnny G, big Johnny G, our third place in our one and done guy.
And he still won't give us the pick. He was fibbing. He was trying to throw us off.
If you're looking to do any videos too, GA Media, put it on your list, man. They'll treat you right because they do it for us. And folks, listen, Dave and I will be back with next week. Until then, rain or shine,
book your tea time.
Have a great weekend, everybody, and a great rest of the week. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you with a gummy that makes you feel yummy.
Just minutes north of San Antonio on Highway 281, you will find Valor Creek Golf Club in Blanco, Texas. Valor Creek is now offering stay-and-play packages starting at $150 per person per night. Relax in the beautifully furnished Tuscany Heights condominium and walk out your front door and play one of the Hill Country's premier semi-private golf courses. So break away from the city and make Valor Creek the perfect getaway for a peaceful weekend or family outing. Call us now at 830-833-0706 or go to www.vcgc.golf. That's vcgc.golf.
Step into this clubhouse and you're stepping into history. Walk this fairway and imagine you're in the gallery of one of the first PGA Tour events, or cross this bridge and know that Nelson, Hogan, Palmer, and Crenshaw each crossed it first. Because this is Brackenridge Park, the oldest 18-hole public golf course in Texas, site of the first Texas Open and home to the Texas Golf Hall of Fame. Set your tee time today and step into history at Brackenridge Park.